Subscribe, like, and share. Remember to click the bell, please. Watch our playlist again so as to grasp the continuous trend of market and refresh your mind. Good evening, guten Abend, bonsoir, buenas noches to investors in North and South America. Ohayo gozaimasu. 안녕하세요. 各位早晨. Good morning to investors in Asia. Buenas noches, good night to investors in Europe and Africa. I'm Daniel Yu speaking from Hong Kong. It's 28th November here and 27th November in Wall Street. This week, I have 4 main points to talk about. Number 1 is Ursa Minor pattern, Polaris and turning point of the market. Number 2, institutional buying records. Number 3, stock recommendations. Number 4, psychological state of investors. So what is meant by Ursa Minor pattern? It has nothing to do with mysticism or astrology, as the ascending and descending triangles had nothing to do with geometry. It is just a look of pattern only. This is the constellation of Ursa Major and Minor. Mind that what we call the plow, colloquially, is the Ursa Major that has 7 stars excluding the Polaris, but the Ursa Minor consists of 6 stars only. When including Polaris, it also has 7 stars. Why take it as a metaphor? Polaris denotes the north, the apex of the sky. Actually, in the space, there's nothing called the top or bottom, but now we use Polaris as the highest point of the market so as to be more logical. But if we turn this chart horizontally, it can be seen when starting from the highest point of Polaris, the first 2 stars drop sharply and the 3rd star drops gently and later on form a parallelogram. That is what the track of Nasdaq is running. The climax of Nasdaq 100 was in November 22nd, 2021 at 16769.31. So from that day to February 24th, 2022 at 13723.57 is known as stage 1 of bear market, where everyone would treat it as an adjustment of bull market only. Please be noted that star number 1 is Polaris and the V magnitude is 1.98. That is the brightest star. Star number 2 is the second brightest, known as QQQ. Please mark down and remember this position. It is the breaking point. But you can see from Polaris number 1 to Yilden number 6 and Yilden number 6 to Epsilon number 4 is also in same steep slope. And star number 6 is at February 24th, the outbreak of Russian-Ukraine conflict, also the bear market watershed of 13411.89. But for Epsilon number 4 will develop into star number 5, 7, 3, 2, a parallelogram. Anyway, the pattern is not yet fully developed and we still have to observe more. But mind that those important points of June 16th, 11035.36, it was the CPI of May announced to rise to 8.6%, as well as PPI was at 11.1% high. On August 16th, Nasdaq 100 was at a high of 13723.11, which ends the bear market stage 2 and starts bear market stage 3. The Express already talked about Ursa Major and Minor patterns on 15th August. Not just today, but talk about 3.5 months ago. It is the day that it started to develop the parallelogram of Ursa Minor pattern, for it is an important date of formation. Readers can go back to the website to see the archives. It is printed on front page and last page of the Express on that day. So if you subscribe to the US Stock Express, you will know the trend 3.5 months earlier than other people. On October 13th at 10438.00, simply the September CPI was announced at 8.2%, But on November 15th, we can view it from another angle which formed a trumpet shape. For the October CPI was announced at 7.7% on November the 10th. It took several days to reach this apex, which denotes the end of bear market is not far away. Hallelujah, Amitabha, Allahu Akbar. So, what should the investor do now? Nasdaq has been falling over 1 year. The apex can be seen before Thanksgiving of 2021. We cannot blame anyone buying at this stage, as Warren Buffett keeps on buying every several months. When Dow Jones fell 1,000 points a day, he surely would enter the market to purchase, for he had already bought cheaper than others for 1,000 points. For Ursa Minor pattern, it is forming a parallelogram, technically called ranging zone, that is going horizontally up and down within a certain limit. However, even Warren Buffett could not precisely predict the upper and lower limit of this range. Therefore, we must prepare well that the lower limit may have a chance to be even lower. But anyway, not so deep. Actually, a lot of people expected the support of 10,000 points of Nasdaq will be quite firm. After all, we have two Nasdaqs. When Nasdaq Composite dropped under 10,000 points, an optimistic person still can say the Nasdaq 100 is still above it. So what investors need to do is to fix your own strategy while observing the figures. Why this parallelogram is important? For it shows the actual situation of institutional buying of Reverse Repurchase Agreement, RRP. We can see in the chart that the buying started on September 30th. The parallelogram really started to go horizontally here. Please compare with the RRP chart. The recent days purchase has increased and the index really popped up on September 30th. It was at $2.425 trillion and later lowered to $2.114 trillion and then $2.099 trillion. Now can see a gap of jumping down to $2.069 trillion. This is a buying signal. But for conservative buyers, still can wait until it reaches the level of $2.000 trillion. So for the third part is how to apply the above analysis in the trading deals. How about pandemic in China? Once rumors said it will be completely cut off soon, but I had already said still need to suffer at least 6 months from now, and some said even 12 months. Elon Musk decided to establish super factories of Tesla in Canada and South Korea so as not to rely too much on China. Apple unexpectedly set to purchase Manchester United so as to raise the image further. Apple is the only stock that can purchase at any time. Mind that the TSM, it will establish 6 factories in Arizona. The 3nm factory will be completed in 2025 and mass production can carry out in 2027. But at that time, the Taiwanese headquarters already can produce 1nm chips and US is far fallen behind. Why China has 1.4 billion population and India has 1.3 billion cannot produce a factory like TSM? Why US has such a high technology still has to rely on TSM? It is because the research headquarters in Taiwan is supported by 2 universities, the National Taiwan University and National Tsinghua University. So do not mind too much on university rankings. These 2 are not so famous in the world, but other much more famous universities cannot generate a factory like TSM. Now, the ASML of Netherlands is going to establish a research center in Taiwan headquarters and not regional branch factories of TSM. It shows the importance of Taiwan headquarters. The Express has already said Apple had a secret base in Taiwan and that base is going to have cooperation with TSM. Please refer to the Express of March 22, 2021. Being a subscriber of the Express, you can know things 21 months earlier than other people. Please subscribe at once. To sum up, stock recommendation includes AAPL, TSM, ASML, and UMC, and TSLA, Tesla. Since Nasdaq leads the market, so there's an ETF of Nasdaq which is QQQ. It's also recommended at this level. However, there's another ETF called TQQQ, which is also for Nasdaq 100. It is only suitable for wave 3, or when Nasdaq 100 is under 250 SMA, can buy QQQ. When Nasdaq 100 is over the 250 SMA, should buy the TQQQ, which can earn more profit and faster. For this current situation, it is hard to say whether the bottom has reached or not. The Ursa Minor pattern only gives hints that collection can be started, but do not put all your eggs in one basket. The market still will fluctuate up and down, so better split your collection over a period of time, say 4 to 8 weeks. And when the market goes down, don't be shocked. It is the psychological state that investors must hold firm in this stage. Finally, there's a reminder of 4 important days of the market which may shock investors. That's the GDP will be announced on 30th November, PCE on 1st December, employment report on 2nd December, CPI on 13th December. So enjoy your World Cup final. Let's stop here. Sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, bye bye. See you next week.